Delta is better. I will say that. I've flown Delta.
It just sucks that so I like Delta, but because their hub is Atlanta, they're like, oh, you're going to St. Louis? Wanna take a pit stop in Atlanta? And I'm like, no, Delta, I'd like to go to St. Louis. And they're like, okay, all right, next flight, you're going, all right, you're flying to Orlando. Wanna hang out in Atlanta? Like, no, Delta, get me to Orlando, please.
That's the same thing. It's like, oh, you're going to Houston. You want to stop in Atlanta? And I'm like, no, I don't want a layover. I just want a direct flight. Get me there now.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us here on another steaming hot edition of Cup of Joe's. My name is Joe Brown. I am joined by my best friend, Joe Perrian. And Joe, this is episode number 70 of Cup of Joe's. We're going to have a bit more of a quickie here this week. Sound good?
Sound good. I'm always down for a quickie. You know me.
I've heard that about you, actually. So,
oh, that's rude.
Anywho, I apologize if I sound sick. That is because I am sick. So if I sound sick, I apologize. Hopefully it should be fine, though. Joe and I, on tap today, we're going to run through the Game Award nominees. We're going to go, let's fight to the death, defending the games we want to choose, giving our official Cup of Joe's votes here. And then we'll also quickly talk about Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. I'll give it my review because it has finally arrived. I feel like we've talked about it for so long that the day has finally arrived. And that means, Joe, we're actually only a couple months away from Pokemon Legends Arceus.
There we go. We're almost there. And then we're going to play that. And then we're going to get a review. And we'll see how that goes.
Right.
Right, okay. Joe? Right, Joe?
That sounds very threatening.
Right, Joe.
Very threatening. Okay, so the Game Awards, I believe, are taking place December 9th, and every year we like to go over the nominees and stuff, because, it's fun to talk about the top games that we played this year, and we'll definitely make sure in the podcast after the Game Awards to talk about the event, because they're going to show off different game trailers and, fun things that they always do, so stay tuned for that. But for now, if you are wondering, we're going to run through each of the nominees, and there are 30, so obviously some categories deserve more shine than others, right? So I would say, as we get started here, and this will be the official votes, the Cup of Joe votes for the Game Awards, so we have to be unanimous here, Joe, all right?
Okay.
All right, I'm just trying to put some gravitas to it, make it sound important.
Let's do it.
All right, so
let's do this.
Start with the most important category, and that is...
I already know what you're going to pick.
Game of the... No. So that's what we'll have a discussion on. It is Game of the Year, and we have Deathloop, It Takes Two, Metroid Dread, Psychonauts 2, Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, and Resident Evil Village. So from where I stand, Joe, and I'm willing to go either way, I'm not going to be a homer, I think it's between Deathloop and Metroid Dread. What do you think?
Honestly, what I think is It Takes Two, actually, in my opinion.
Whoa.
Because, let's break this down. Deathloop, great game, but recycled mechanics from other games that they've already made. Has pretty much the exact same feeling of Dishonored. You still use a sword, which is like a big thing in Dishonored, but instead it's a machete. You use firearms like you did in Dishonored as well. But it was fun. It was interesting. The story was interesting, but the mechanics were the same. Metroid Dread is good for the fans because it added on to another series another game into the series, a game that everybody's been waiting for, the idea of like, oh, there's a monster coming, I can't fight it until I can actually end up fighting it, and you have to kind of like run away from it, which is kind of like a new mechanic for the Metroid series, but not necessarily a new mechanic in games in general. Mm-hmm. Then of course there's Psychonauts 2, which is it looks like a great game, and it definitely fed to the fans about Psychonauts waiting for another one, but it I don't know if it was like a game of the year. Same thing with Ratchet and Clank, and same thing with Resident Evil 8. Resident Evil Village. I loved Resident Evil Village, and I love Deathloop, but game of the year, I think the game that kind of changed most of this year was It Takes Two, bringing people together in their homes or and online to help play a video game and like fix relationships or fix like these hard times that we're going through during this year. And that's why I picked Takes Two.
Wow, I gotta be honest, Joe. This is not where I was expecting this to go. I thought we were about to have like a heated discussion between Deathloop and Metroid Dread. I was not expecting the It Takes Two stance here.
Well, there you go. I'm full of surprises.
Oh man. So what do we do here then? What do we do? Because like I don't know. I can't be fair because I have not played It's Take Two. I don't have any friends, like you do. So I'm just kidding. That was a joke.
You have me.
Yes, that was the joke because obviously you're my friend. I haven't played It Takes Two. Like, oh my, excuse me. I really want to vote for Metroid Dread, but like if you were so adamant for It Takes Two, I'm willing to sacrifice.
No, and I'm also willing to sacrifice to your Metroid Dread because of how long you've been waiting for it. I'm just saying my opinion is still It Takes Two, but I'll vote for Metroid Dread for you.
Okay, cool. Got the reverse psychology on you. Haha. Metroid Dread wins. Vote. Boom. Got you, Joe. I was just waiting. I was trying to be like good guy like you. Like, no, I'll go your way. And then in your head, you're like, okay, no, I'll go your way. And I'm like, okay, Joe said it. Boom. Metroid Dread.
Yeah. There you go, fans. Joe Brown is the worst Joe out of the two of us.
I got it. Okay. How the hell do you vote for the next category? That would probably help. Okay.
There you go.
Best game direction: Deathloop, It Takes Two, Returnal, Psychonauts 2, and Ratchet and Clank. I think this is where you got a chance, Joe. I think It Takes Two, like game direction wise, like that European guy that curses at us, like that he's the one who made this game, and like it's I would say that's probably the front runner for me.
Yeah, It Takes Two is probably the best game direction. Like I said, all these games went in the same direction that they used to. Returnal is just a revamp of other type of kind of like roguelike shooters. Great game, but I think It Takes Two is definitely the one for this category. Definitely taking it home.
Sweet, we're gonna vote for him, and hopefully he curses on stage more. Because he'll be there. Him and Jeff Keighley are like best friends. Like they like text each other and send each other memes and stuff.
They're like hoo. Check it out.
That's what they say. Okay. Best narrative. Excuse me. We have Deathloop, It Takes Two, Life is Strange, True Colors, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, and Psychonauts 2. So this is actually a pretty tough section. Like, I don't know the story in It Takes Two. I know there is like an emotional connection and people with relationships really it really resonates with them, right?
The whole game is like focused around a couple who is getting divorced, and then the daughter doesn't want them to get divorced, so then she somehow ends up manifesting that her parents go into these two dolls, and then these two dolls need to work together to solve the puzzles to get out of their situation. That's the whole thing with It Takes Two. And then there's like they wrote a whole new story for Marvel Guardians of the Galaxy. Psychonauts is a continuation of the story for Psychonauts 1, but you played Life is Strange, no?
Right. And I actually like it a lot. I related with Alex like that's the main character, significantly more than I did the main characters from Life is Strange 2, the brothers. So I think the narrative is pretty strong.
I would say that Life of Strange, The True Colors would probably be best narrative because of how those games are played. It's all story. That's all the game is. It's just all story, no other real mechanics besides that. So I think that could take overall narrative because it heavily relies on the narrative of the game.
Yeah, I think we can go. We've already given It Takes Two, a lot of love. I said we spread it around and give it to Life is Strange True Colors. I mean, maybe that's what we shouldn't do if we were actual voters, but until Jeff Keighley sends us a ballot, that's how we're going to handle it. Okay, this is a fun one. Best art direction: The Artful Escape, which I think I remember you saying you like thought was cool back at E3 or something.
It looked cool.
Deathloop, Kena Bridge of Spirits, Psychonauts 2, and Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. This is tough, like, because I loved Kena visually. Like, that was like a beautiful, game to me, it felt it felt like a Studio Ghibli film as a video game. So like that's definitely where my heart is laying. But like, what do you think about like Deathloop's art direction?
Thought it was okay. It was kind of like it was cool. It had a cool thing to it, but I'm leaning towards Psychonauts 2's art
Ooh,
direction.
I could get behind that.
That game looked really cool with like, especially, I know this is like kind of like not fair, but going from like going from playing the first one, which was like very old, to going to play this one, which is very new. The art was like incredible of how it evolved.
I think you could also make the same argument for Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, because like if you actually look at that game, it's like actually gorgeous. You know what I mean?
Same thing can be said about Psychonauts 2.
Right.
So many vibrant colors.
Oh geez, what are we gonna do here, Joe?
Psychonauts 2, because you took the first one.
All right, that's fair. Psychonauts 2 wins Best Art Direction. Congratulations. Up next, Best Score and Music: The Artful Escape, Cyberpunk 2077, Deathloop, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, and Nier Replicant version. Yada 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 yada. I think Guardian should just be discounted because it's all like popular 80s music. Like it's kind of like cheating. You know what I mean?
I'm glad you said that. Thank you.
Okay, cool. I do remember Cyberpunk aesthetically had really good music and a vibe and everything. So like maybe that isn't award to go for.
But I also feel like the Artful Escape, the entire game is based around music.
True.
So what's up?
Well, it would be really funny if Cyberpunk won an award in the year that it like destroyed the gaming industry at the beginning of it.
For real. Well, wait. How is Cyberpunk even in this category when it was in 2020?
No, it can't. If it launched, it's like how Smash Ultimate was the next year because it came out like right as the Game Awards came out. So like if Cyberpunk came out in December, it just would have been too late for it to be qualified.
It came out in December. Yeah, you're right.
Right.
So
we're gonna have that again with Halo Infinite, right? Halo Infinite next year will probably be on the list. So, what are you feeling? Artful Escape?
I'm going Artful Escape.
All right, Artful Escape. Best score and music. Best audio design: Deathloop, Forza Horizon 5, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, Resident Evil Village, and Returnal. Now, I remember seeing like with Deathloop, like watching videos, like the audio design, like the clicks and the clacks and the change in ammo and stuff. Like it sounded really good.
Yeah, but so it sounded really good in Village as well, and I'm sure it sounded great in Ratchet and Clank too as well.
Well, yeah. So, how was the audio design in Village? Tell me.
Like it sounded, it made everything creepy, but at the same time, I do agree with you about. I'll agree with you with Deathloop. Like when I was getting into it, the music would amp up. I would get amped.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'm gonna have to go with Deathloop.
Yeah, we both agree on that one. Okay. Up next, best performance or individual voiceover acting, motion or performance capture. We have Erica Mori as Alex Chen. She's from Life is Strange. Ya boy Giancarlo Esposito from Far Cry 6. Jason Kelly as Colt Vaughn in Deathloop. Oh, he had a great voice in that one.
He was amazing.
Maggie Robertson as Lady Dimitrescu. Everybody loved her.
Oh.
And then Ozioma Akaga as Juliana from Deathloop. So do the two Deathloop actors counter each other out, or do you think one of them stood out better?
To be honest, they were both very good. Like I wish this was like a double category. I wish they were one because they both were. Yeah. They played off of each other a lot. They were both very good. I'm gonna have to go with Maggie Robertson. She's my pick.
Over Giancarlo?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I honestly I don't know the game. I just know the memes where everyone wants her to step on them. So I didn't know. I actually didn't know she like talked a lot in the game.
Yeah, her character talks a lot in the game. She also has an incredible, like her voice is just like incredible in that game.
Okay.
I didn't like when I saw her as a person, I did not expect like that voice to go with that person, which makes me even more like
impressed.
Yes, impressed.
Yeah. All right. If I was voting, I would go for Erica Mori because Alex is an awesome voice. But we are voting. This is Communist Cup of Joes, and we select Lady Dimitrescu.
Yeah, because she's our big mommy.
She sure is. Okay,
Sure is, man.
games for impact. I'm not as familiar with some of these. So, Before Your
N-
Eyes, Boyfriend
no
Dungeon,
idea about any
Chicory, A
of these.
Colorful Tale, Life is Strange Through Colors, and No Longer Home. Besides Life is Strange, the only game I've actually heard of is Boyfriend Dungeon, and I remember that was like a big deal because it gave like girls like the dating simulator thing, but it was also like a real RPG and stuff. Like, so it was like reaching a new target audience. But like then there's a lot of stuff in Life is Strange too about like your sexuality and like other stuff too. So I don't know. I would vote Life is Strange, Joe.
Yeah, I'm fine with Life is Strange.
Yes, thank you. Okay. Best ongoing game. We have Apex Legends, Final Fantasy 14 Online, Fortnite, Genshin Impact, and Call of Duty Warzone. Wow. Okay.
Can we both just say Apex Legends and move on from this category?
I think that's what I was actually leaning towards. I was gonna try to. I didn't know what you were gonna say, so I was gonna try to convince you for Apex. So
We're both on it then. Moving on.
boom, beautiful. Best indie, 12 minutes. Remember that was like that movie game or whatever.
Oh, I want to play that game.
Yeah, I gotta play that one. Death's Door, Inscription.
Want to play that one too.
Kena Bridge of Spirits, and Loop Hero. Joe, if you've ever done anything for me in my life, it would be.
I think we have to go to Kena.
Yeah,
go for Kena.
Thank you.
Because after like seeing how beautiful that game was and hearing your whole thing about it, we got to go with them.
Boom, love it. I can't wait for that studio's next game. Okay, best mobile game: Fantasian, Genshin Impact, League of Legends Wild Rift, Marvel, Future Revolution, and Pokemon Unite. I can tell you it's not Unite, Joe. I can promise you that.
I was gonna say I thought it was Unite because of how many people jumped onto it so quickly.
I don't know. I would say between Genshin Impact and League, like obviously I like League, so that's where I would lean towards. But
and
like,
then here
Genshin
we go.
Impact is like a big deal. I see tweets all the time of people playing their Genshin Impact, so I don't know.
So we just finished Arcane, so like I think we got to go League.
Boom, love it, love it.
Our girl's on it, so
yeah, I love that Jinx. As a side note, I love that she's kind of become like a poster child for Riot. Like when, excuse me, when Legend of Runeterra came out last year, like it was her and Yasuo were the cover. Like Wild Rift, it's Jinx and Yasuo. Like she's the star of the first anime TV show for League. Like, you know, I love it.
It's great.
Best community support. I have no idea. Apex Legends, Destiny 2, Final Fantasy 14 Online, Fortnite, and No Man's Sky. I'm between
Destiny 2.
Yeah. I was going to say Destiny, 100%. All right, no need to deliberate. We love our Destiny here on this show. Innovation in accessibility. I'm not really familiar with what these things do, but obviously, like the same thing with Last of Us last year. Remember all the accessibility options they had in the game of colors and difficulties and whatnot. So we have Far Cry 6, Forza Horizon 5, Marvel Guardians of the Galaxy, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, and The Veil, Shadow of the Crown. I'm trying to I don't remember in Guardians. Maybe I just wasn't looking at the settings, but like besides like a lot of the different varying settings of difficulty and like game speed and stuff, I can't remember.
I think they're mainly talking about like remember how when Last of Us 2 came out they had this accessibility where if you were actually blind you can still play the game because of how accessible it was to them.
Yeah.
I thought that's what they're maybe talking about here.
Right. So
I can't really guess, but I have a feeling that maybe Ratchet and Clank would definitely do that.
That's what I was thinking too. From what I remember, I was thinking there was a lot about accessibility with Ratchet, so
perfect.
All right, Ratchet.
Moving on up.
Congrats, Insomniac. Best VR AR, no idea. Hitman 3, I Expect You to Die 2, Lone Echo 2, Resident Evil 4, and Sniper.
Yes.
Yeah, we know. Resident Evil.
We know. Leon Kennedy, you're my boy.
Love you, Leon. Who's my girl who I love?
Ashley.
No, Joe. It's Jill Valentine. Never forget it.
Jill Valentine's not in that game.
Okay, but I still love her regardless.
Have you played any of these games?
Anywho, best action game goes for Back 4 Blood, Chivalry 2, Deathloop, Far Cry 6, and Returnal. So this is the Joe Perrian category.
Far Cry 6 is just like a revamp of all the other Far Cries. There's nothing new to it. It's the same stuff. Go to a different part of the place, kill this, do that. It's great, but I don't know. It didn't really catch me by surprise. Black for Blood. Back for Blood is like kind of the same thing, but it actually adds a little bit more to it. I enjoyed playing it. It's really fun to play. There's a lot of new kind of like level designs and different character traits that you can do. They kind of like change it up a little bit. Deathloop. I'm gonna have to say Deathloop.
Yes,
I'm sorry, Deathloop. Yeah,
Deathloop. I was waiting for it. I was like, please say Deathloop. I want this game to win stuff.
Oh god.
All right, best action adventure: Guardians, Metroid Dread, Psychonauts 2, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, and Resident Evil Village. Well, okay, if
Resident Evil Village isn't even in this category. Not even there's like some puzzles, but that's more confused, of like something about that. Guardians of the Galaxy, I also think is not part of this.
No, it's an action adventure game, 100%.
Fine.
Yeah. A lot of
I know you want to
puzzles.
I know you want to vote for Metroid, but I definitely think that Psychonauts 2, if it had as much puzzles as the first one did, I think this one would definitely take this one home.
But it's not just puzzles. It says combining combat with traversal and puzzle solving. So it's a whole smorgasbord.
Yeah, there's a ton of combat that you have to do while trying to figure out a puzzle and entering people's brains.
All I'm saying is if we voted for Metroid Dread for Game of the Year, how is it not the game of its own category?
Because it got Game of the Year. Now give someone else a turn.
Oh, is that what you want to do? When Jeff Keighley gives you a vote, that's how you're going to do it?
Yeah, because I think it definitely belongs to Psychonauts 2.
Oh, my God. Fine. We'll vote Psychonauts 2. I
got him.
Begrudgingly.
Got him again.
Okay. Best role-playing. Cyberpunk 2077, Monster Hunter Rise, Scarlet Nexus, Shin Megami Tensei 5, and Tales of Arise. How did SMT get on here? It released on like November 12th or something. How is that on here? I don't know. That doesn't make sense to me. But
Cyberpunk 2077.
No, definitely not.
Yes. You didn't play it. You didn't play it.
No, I saw videos. I saw cars in the ocean and stuff. Okay.
Yeah, but my car was never in the ocean, and I felt surprisingly, I felt very immersed in the game.
Okay.
And there was a lot of role playing. What are you going to tell me? What are you going to tell me? Which one?
I hear what you're saying. I would like to counterpoint with Tales of Arise, just because I've seen so many ads online and like review scores of people saying that it's like a fantastic game.
But you never played it.
But I didn't play Cyberpunk either.
But I did.
But like Cyberpunk was like a bad game.
It was a great game. It just had bad glitches in it.
Oh my god!
It's like Bethesda on crack, you know.
Oh my god! Fine, we go for Cyberpunk.
Hell yeah! Screw all you haters.
All right, best fighting game: the Demon Slayer fighting game, Guilty Gear Strive, Melty Blood, Type Lumina, Nickelodeon All Star Brawl, baby. Virtua Fighter 5 Ultimate Showdown. So, as someone who has played some fighting games and follows the FGC, I would say Guilty Gear Strive was the best fighting game this year.
I would say Demon Slayer is.
But it's not even like it's like 3D and like weird and stuff. Like
it's like Dragon Ball Z. That game that came out for GameCube that I always play that I can't remember. Budokai? No. Yes.
Kind of. But like when
that's what it is.
I'm thinking of Guilty Gear.
Well, good for you. I'm thinking of Demon Slayer.
But I refuse to listen. I gave you Psychonauts. I gave you other things. I refuse to not vote Guilty Gear for best fighting game.
Oh God, whatever.
As someone who actually played some of these fighting games.
Oh God, whatever.
Anyway, Guilty Gear Strive takes it home. Best family: It Takes Two, Mario Party Superstars, New Pokemon Snap, Super Mario 3D World: Bowser's Fury, and WarioWare Get It Together.
WarioWare Get It Together.
Really? It Takes Two?
Don't even come at me, because that's not really a family game. That's more of like a couple.
That's what I was wondering too.
It's a couple game. WarioWare Get It Together. That's a family game.
All right, fine. I'll vote for it. I feel weird about Bowser's Fury and Mario Party Superstars. Kind of like a rehash thing.
Yeah.
So, okay. Next category: Best Sim/Strategy: Age of Empires 4. Evil Genius 2, World Domination, Humankind, Inscription, and Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Do we even really have to do this?
Is it Flight Simulator?
No.
Is it Age of Empires?
Yes.
Oh, okay, cool. I didn't know where you were going. I was like, oh, maybe Joe's like a big Humankind fan. I just didn't know about it.
I want to know I need to look up what Inscription is, though. I've seen things about it. It looks terrifying.
Up next, best sports and racing. F1 2021.
Do we really have to do this one?
FIFA
We both
22.
don't. We don't play any
You
of
know
these
what we're
games.
voting for? We're voting for
For
Riders
Hot.
Republic, baby.
Oh, I'm voting for Hot Wheels then because
No.
fuck. I
No,
don't want to do that.
it's Riders Republic. We
Mm.
we were both so equally excited for it back at E3.
No,
remember?
we were not. You told me
Remember?
to be excited about it, and
We
I said
were
no.
Both digging it. Riders Republic gets the win. Congratulations,
Oh
Ubisoft.
my gosh!
Finally
no.
win
Why?
something
No,
for once.
Hot Wheels.
Anyway, best multiplayer. Back for Blood, Knockout City. That was that dodgeball game. It Takes Two, Monster Hunter Rise, New World, and Valheim. I would assume It Takes Two because it takes two to play, right?
But it's only 2, where in Back for Blood it's 4.
But it says best multiplayer, not most amount of players.
I'm going with Back for Blood.
Oh my god. Fine, we'll go Back for Blood. I don't think we followed the rules there correctly, but
Oh, fine. What it says for outstanding online multiplayer gameplay and design.
okay,
But
fine. That's fair.
It Takes Two was more of a split screen co-op.
You're right. Okay, content creator of the year: Dream, Fusely, Gauls, Ibai, and Grev G.
I don't know any of these people.
I've heard of Dream before. So
Then it's going to Dream.
congratulations, buddy. All right, best debut indie. This is gonna be a tough one. Artful Escape, Forgotten City, Cannon Bridge of Spirits, Sable, and Valheim. You know where my heart is.
Sable looks so cool. Valheim was also really good though. But Kana.
Yeah, Kana gets another one. All right, most anticipated games. This is for next year. What are we most excited to see? Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, the sequel to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, or Starfield?
Are we really gonna even talk about this one?
No, I don't know which way you're going.
Which way do you think I'm going?
I would assume it's Starfield, but you might be a big Elden Ring guy.
What are you talking about? What? Do you even know who I am?
You played Sekiro.
Joseph.
Yes, Joseph.
I cannot believe. Which one would you pick, Joe?
Oh, you know, Breath of the Wild, baby.
Yeah, you know that. I also picked that, you doofus. What?
I thought you like Bethesda. You like their games.
I do. But how big of a Zelda fan am I, Joe?
That's true. I was trying not to be a homer. I'm trying to look cool on the internet, Joe. I'm sorry.
You're not being cool, but also I'm excited for Horizon and God of War. And Elden Ring. I don't know about Starfield.
It's
Moving
definitely
on.
Breath of the Wild.
It's definitely Breath of the Wild. Best esports game.
Ooh.
Yeah. I fall out, but they always get me back in. I know where I'm going. It's going League of Legends.
Damn right. You know me so well, Joe. No offense to Counter-Strike or anything, but it's League.
Yeah.
You know it.
League, you know it.
All right. Up next, best esports athlete.
How come neither one of us are on here?
Dude, this guy's name is Simp. That's his name. He's a simp.
Chris. We gotta go for this guy holding all these boxes though. Simple.
Okay.
I'm liking simple.
I'm going for Showmaker because he's like the best mid laner in the world in League. So he's on
Fine.
day one.
You get it.
All right.
Showmaker it is.
Up next, best esports team: Atlanta FaZe, Damwon Kia, Nadas Vincier, Sentinels, and Team Spirit. So,
We know which one to go with, right?
no, I know who.
The second one. Yeah.
Damwon Kia. Yeah, that's why I wanted. Listen, it's a joint discussion, Joe. I'm not going to just choose what I want. I want to make sure we're on the same page.
I don't know how to do that. I don't know best esports coach. Please get out of my face with this.
Okay, let me see. Do I know it? Oh, K Coma. He's like a legendary league coach. So vote for him. Sound good?
Which one? Which one?
K Coma, the fifth guy.
Okay.
Okay, best
Done.
esports event: League, Worlds, International, PGL, PUBG, Valorant. I'm thinking.
What?
Excuse me. I'm thinking Valorant. I'm kind of thinking Valorant. It was like
I'm thinking-
kind of popped off.
I'm thinking the international. That's
Okay, we could go there if you want.
it's either that or league for me because the international's always been a very big thing.
All right, we'll go international.
International is.
And that
We,
is all 30 categories. So, congratulations to all the Cup of Joe's Game Award nominee selections, specifically Metroid Dread for Game of the Year.
Game of the Year.
Okay, so Joe, let's quickly run through, because we're running out of time here. Let's quickly run through Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. So I've played it. I'm literally at the Elite Four, so it's not like I can really spoil things because it's literally the same game as 15 years ago. So it's not like I'm talking any spoilers or anything. All right. Now you haven't played it yet, right?
No, I haven't because I haven't even bought it yet.
Right. That would be a big hindrance to playing it, is if you can't buy it. So,
There it is.
so I was raised in. I don't know about you, Joe. I don't know if you're just some cretin off the streets with no dignity, but for me, I'm not. I was raised. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all, right?
But you're gonna still say it, right?
Dude, that photo you posted, I've been trying not to laugh.
For anybody wondering what I said to Joe Brown, it is a picture. If you listen to our last episode where we had Frankie on, we were talking about the Spider-Man trailers and about how there's a bunch of stuff that's like they've kind of removed from it, so they doesn't give anything away. It's a picture of it's a zoomed in picture of the what's the lizard character's name? I don't even remember. The lizard man. Yeah. The lizard like jumping in the air, and it says you don't need Toby, referring to Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, if you've got family. And it's Vince Vaughn jumping out of a Vin Diesel. Sorry. Diesel. It's Vince Diesel jumping out of a car at the lizard.
Okay. Anyway, back on track, Joe. We got a tight ship to run here. So, this is the first time that I cannot definitively say this is the fourth remake of a generation Pokemon has done. They made Gen 1 and Gen 3, they made Gen 4 or 2 and Gen 4, Gen 3 and Gen 6. Now Gen 4 and Gen 8. This is definitively the first time in Pokemon's history I cannot adamantly recommend that the remake is a significantly better way of playing the game than the original. To what I believe, their detriment, they decided to make as realistic of a remake as possible, where in theory, I guess that is an admirable trait, that they wanted to stay as authentic to the Sinnoh experience as possible, but in practice and in actuality, that has never been what Pokemon remakes have been about. They have not tried to make the game exactly the same, but 15 years later. They have always improved on it, the way that you could recommend Fire Red and Leaf Green to someone if they want to play Gen 1. You could recommend Heart Gold, Soul Silver over Gold and Silver if someone wants to play Gen 2. Like, some people consider Heart Gold, Soul Silver the best game in the franchise. And you can definitely recommend ORAS over Ruby and Sapphire, although there are some things that you'd be missing, like lack of Emerald stuff. But the game was not produced by Pokemon. It was made by a company called Ilka, which made Pokemon Home and is essentially an off-branch of Pokemon, because Game Freak is too busy working on Legends Arceus, so they sent this as like a side product. So what they told you right away, Joe, was that this Gen 4 remake, the beloved game, one of the highest selling games in the franchise of all time, is not a priority to them. It is a side project where another company with no game creation, history is going to handle it. And so when I talk with some of my friends, they're like, oh, well, you have to cut them some slack, because you know how some, Nintendo fans are, where they'll spit in your food and they'll say thank you. Nintendo will spit in your food and they say thank you. It's like, oh, you added some texture to my soup, thank you. So they'll say, like, oh, you got to cut Ilka some slack. It's their first time making a game. It's like, well, nope, that is a negative thing. Like, we can actually critique that and say that's a negative. Like, oh, well, you have all these glitches in the game, but that's only because this game is being made in the Unity engine, so it's not the Pokemon engine, so there's a lot of issues. I'm like, well, it wasn't decreed from the heavens that the game had to be made in Unity. That was a conscious decision that the company made, right? Like, it's not like people just try to absolve all responsibility of like, oh, well, it's just a Pokemon game, like, stop complaining about it, and like, don't get upset at this issue. But like, these were conscious decisions the company made, like, to make it a different a different engine, to have a side company, source it out to a side company instead of the main Pokemon team making the best possible version of it. And then by being so faithful, which is again an admirable endeavor to go down, you've
Yeah.
actually hindered the product, because many of people's, I won't speak for everybody, but myself included, and many people's fond memories of Generation 4 and Sinnoh are from Platinum, which fixed a lot of the problems from Diamond and Pearl, including the Pokedex. Like, if you don't start with Infernape, the only fire type is Rapidash in the entire game, right? So in Platinum, they added Houndoom and other Pokemon into the dex so that you could actually get more than one fire type if you don't choose Infernape. So, like, you have that problem back again, that if you don't choose Infernape, you can... There are ways around it, which I will say is as a positive for the game. But overall, by honoring the original game so well, you've actually put a detriment to the current product that you're creating. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I got it. I
Now,
get you.
quickly moving on to the positives of it, because there's it's not all negative, right? Like, the visuals are fun. I really disdain the chibi look, because it makes every character look 4 years old, and then when you pop into a battle, they are regular human sized. So, like, why did you not just have everybody the correct heights? Like, there's a girl on a bridge at one point that looks, and she's like wearing like a pool outfit or whatever. So, like, you think she's just a little 5-year-old kid, like, hanging out at the water. And then the
Yeah.
comment, she says, "My boyfriend is looking for me." And I'm like, I want to call the police. I'm like, your boyfriend is looking for you. You're 5 years old. What are you talking about? And then when you battle her, you go into the motto, and she's like a 20-year-old girl in a bikini. So it's like jarring stuff that happens like that all the time. Like, there's this one new trainer model that look like, legitimately, the girl looks like Zero Suit Samus in Smash, like one of the workout clothes, like where she like just has like the crop top and like the shorts on, like all her skin is
Hmm.
showing. You know what I mean? There's one of the girls that looks straight up like Zero Suit Samus, and then you go inside and then she's like a child, and it's just like jarring stuff, like the animation style like that. And they're like, oh, they wanted to be true to the original style. It's like, okay, cool. Literally no other generation has ever done that. They have made Oras was Gen 3 in X and Y's graphics. Heart Gold Soul Silver was Gen 2 in Gen 4's graphics. Like, this is how there is a formula here, and if Pokemon is good at anything, it is being formulaic and enjoyable, and we keep buying the same games over and over again. One of the new additions, it's quote unquote new, it's expanded upon, I should say, because there used to be this fossil mining experience in Gen 4, and that's still there, and it's been expanded upon, and that's probably the best thing in the game, I would say. You get it after you beat Rourke, the first gym, and you go underneath, and there's like these 40 rooms or something, and across the walls you'll see little signs that like you can like slam your what's it called? What's the mining thing? Your pickaxe into the wall, and you can hunt for like fossils or these like statue upgrades or all these little things, and that's fine on its own, and that you can get lost in. But those rooms that you can go into have Pokemon in the game, and they have Pokemon that aren't even in the Sinnoh Dex that you can catch in there. So like back how like currently Houndoom is not in the Dex right now because he wasn't in Diamond and Pearl's 151. But one of the fire rooms in the underground cave thing has Houndooms in them, so you can actually find other fire types or Magbees and things like that if you don't want a Rapidash, right? So those experiences, like, I could actually see myself getting lost for hours, going through every wall, picking the axe at all the little things. Like, I got one of my favorite Pokemon, Bastiodon. I got a fossil out of the wall, and like I brought him back to life and stuff. And then that is a certain way that you can shiny hunt, is doing that. You like find these Diglets throughout the route, and then when you get a certain amount of points, your shiny luck is increased for the next 5 minutes. So you keep going in and out of these rooms trying to find shinies. So, like, I would say the underground cave stuff is probably the best part of the game overall. But like, yeah, if you want a better upgraded visual with quality of life changes, like being able to trade wherever you want, or being, different things like that, then for sure this game is fine. But like, I would still argue that Platinum is if you sit through those super long HP bars, because that was an issue in Gen 4, that plagued Gen 4, is it took forever to knock out a Pokemon because the HP bar went by every single hit point. That's why it was so slow. If you're willing to sit through the HP bar nonsense, I would still recommend Platinum as the best way to experience Generation 4.
There you have it. Joe Brown's hot take on Pokemon, as usual.
I feel bad about, because you know I love Gen 4, Joe. You know it's my favorite, so...
It's his favorite, folks. I don't know if you heard that, but it's his favorite. Joe Brown, what's your favorite generation again?
That would be Gen 4, Joe. That would be
Gen 4,
the Sinnoh region.
Just wanted to confirm.
Oh, I will also say, my friend, sorry, Joe, just quickly, like, talking about the glitches, like, I've seen a lot of glitches of people, like, warping through, like, planes of existence, like, being on a lower level and then getting warped onto a bridge on the top level. You can, like, surf glitch, like, talk to this trainer and just, like, start surfing, like, Wind Waker style, like, up to different areas that you're not supposed to. My friend actually... he glitched past this NPC that's supposed to block off a path until you have 7 badges, and he did this glitch that, like, if you hatch an egg while talking to him, he just, like, moves out, and you completely cut out the last hour plus of the game from that guy, because you skip all the story mode stuff and you just go straight to the Elite Four. So, like, there's a bunch of nonsense like that in this game that, like, if this was a Game Freak made game, like, this type of stuff would not be in there. Like, I literally watched him do it. He skipped it, went to the Elite Four, beat it, and he went back to Mount Coronet to fight Dialga and fight Team Galactic and everything, and everybody was just T-posing and he couldn't interact with anybody. Like, so the game was actually just glitched out. Like, he could no longer continue that file because his story flag got warped by glitching it.
Please. Oh my god.
Yeah. So I'll try to send you some moments because they're pretty fun. But yeah, play it if you want the updated graphics, Joe.
Play it if you want the updated graphics. That's Joe Brown's personal advice.
Okay. I was trying to naturally send it over to you to take it home, but now I gotta, like, unnaturally say, all right, Joe, that's it for Cup of Joe this week. Why don't you take us home?
I gotta get that one, or else I don't know what I'm doing. Well, thanks for listening to another great episode of Cup of Joe's. I've been your host, Joe Perrion, accompanied by my best friend and co-host, Joseph W.H. Brown.
Okay.
The WH stands for Wayne Hausman.
Okay. News to me.
And we'll catch you on the next episode of Cup of Joe's.
Metro Dread, Game of the Year, Joe.
Nope.